goodness, good evening, everybody. Happy Monday night. Welcome to another episode of the Comedy Doctors, the show where you send in your gripes, your problems, your pet peeves, and we give you awful, terrible, insanely funny advice. I am your host, Frank Licari. Wow, what a show we have tonight. We've got royalty on the show tonight. So excited. What a week, what a day it's been. The Electoral College finally put in the results. We almost officially have a president. It's incredible what we're doing in this country right now. We're making it, though. Only got to wait till January 6th, I think it is, till we actually officially announce that we have a new president. But tonight's all about your problems, of which a lot of us have a lot of problems right now. But I want to give you a little breakdown on how this show works. Now is not the time to talk to your friends, to your family about your problems. Now is the time to give them to us. Put it in the comment sections right here. Send it in at Comedy Flow. Give us all your problems, and we will in turn try to solve them for you, or at least give you some bad advice. Does that sound good? Wonderful. Let me introduce our first guest tonight. I mean, you've seen him everywhere. You've seen him on every Tonight Show that's ever been. You've seen him on The Late Show. You've seen him on Comics Unleashed. Please welcome my good friend, Bobby Collins. Oh, Bobby.
Hey, guys. Hey, Frank. And Attorney General Barr. He's out today.
He is out. He is out. Thank you. I forgot about that one, too.
Tell me if you didn't meet this guy on your own or somebody introduced you, you'd look him and go like this. What a dick.
Well, apparently he made it to the top, but now he's out. This is exciting news. Things are changing. Things are moving. Bobby, you're out in the West Coast. How's it been out there for you through all this? What are you keeping the funny going? Are you keeping it funny?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of videotapes. I've been doing a lot of podcasts, and I've done a bunch of shows, maybe 7 corporate shows with this Zoom thing, and it's the worst. It's the worst.
I love that you said you've been videotaping. That is wonderful. Did you put it on beta? Did you have a special coming out on beta?
Yeah. And the checks are clearing. So
that's fantastic. Well, sit tight. It's great to have you, buddy. Next up, look at this. Not related at all, but you've seen her on Scare Tactics, Dying Laughing, Bitch Slap, Doc. Please welcome a fellow Canadian, Carla Collins. Carla.
Hey, how are you?
Oh,
Hi.
I'm wonderful. We've learned so much about each other just in the pre-show. Everybody needs to know we're from the same hometown in Canada.
We are. I went to high school in Guelph,
which
your
is
hometown.
It's stupid. I don't meet many people from Guelph, and I'm sure you don't either, out in the business. So this is exciting. Most people can't even pronounce it. But you're out in LA most of the time, right? You're West Coasty. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It's great to. How have you been handling the pandemic? Have you been up in Canada the whole time for this?
Listen, I'm kind of a health nut, Frank. So I've been drunk since March.
Very nice.
I've just been having a cocktail of Xanax and Pinot Grigio. It's called a Zanhattan, and that's my smoothie in them. Yeah, it's delicious. It's delicious. No, I've been doing okay. Pandemic wise, I guess getting more resourceful. I've learned how to make homemade Botox using Elmer's glue, almond milk, and some essential oils. So I've become crafty.
It's working for you.
That's the hat. And I've been actually doing something. I created something called comedic meditation, where I do a comedy set and then take people through a guided meditation, because Zoom comedy sucks, but people really like to meditate online because they're not judged and they can be pantless and drool and not have to drive home. So
and who doesn't like to meditate pantless while drooling? That's
what I'm doing right now.
It really does relax you. Well, Carla, it's great to have you.
Thanks,
sit tight while I introduce our third guest tonight. What can I say about this next guy other than my wife just said to me earlier that she's only going to watch the show tonight because John and Bobby are on. Bobby was her favorite guest before John, but this guy, I mean, I don't even have to introduce him, but I will. Been the host of the National Dog Show for I don't know how long. Family Feud, Dancing with the Stars, and you've seen him on Seinfeld, of course. Please welcome John O'Hurley. John.
Well, thank you very much for that rather sparse introduction. So, if you don't mind, I'd like to begin again and reintroduce myself.
Please do.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is the man who killed Seinfeld. In a career that began more than 35 years ago with a badly lip-sync version of the Yellow Rose of Texas for a K-Tel record commercial of Mitch Miller's greatest hits. Since then, he's managed to kill 3 series of his own, 4 soap operas. He's guest starred on more than 50 television shows. Not one is still on the air. And during Sweeps, the golden week of television ratings, he managed to take not 1, not 2, but 3 shows off the air in 1 week. Ellen, Seinfeld, and Damon, ladies and gentlemen, the Grim Reaper of television, John O'Hurley.
Wow. Well, let me tell you.
Now that is an introduction.
That's fantastic. I already felt inadequate before I started tonight, knowing that you were going to be on as a host. Now I feel doubly inadequate. And knowing that now this is going to be my last show also is very depressing. So thank you. Thank you for being here, John. Man, what a career. All jokes aside. So what does a man like you do during the pandemic? What are you doing during these times?
What do I do? It doesn't matter. I am as bewildered as everybody else. It's know, the cliche of being Groundhog Day is true. I actually yesterday I actually won a staring competition with my own reflection.
Did you really?
Wow. I tried, and last week I was taking a late afternoon nap, but my wife made me sign a do not resuscitate order.
Oh man, oh man! Right out of the gate. Look at this. This is going to be a good one today. This is going to be. I am so excited for today's show. Well,
and by the way, I just wanted to say too, I also have my cocktail of the evening. This is a little bit of vodka and prune juice. It's called a pile driver.
Cheers.
Bobby, are you drinking? You got anything, Bobby?
No, I got vitamin water. I'm in California.
I got you. Well, listen, before we all get too drunk, let's try to help some people. What do you say? Should we help a few people out?
Sure.
Let's see what we got. Let's get our first problem up. Here we go. Lydia from Rockford, Illinois. My husband and I just downsized and moved to the retirement community. It is not the lifestyle we are used to, but are trying to be smart with money during this time. Any ideas on how we can spice up the neighborhood? Lydia wants to know, how can we spice up the neighborhood at the retirement community? Well, I'm going to start with you, Carla, because you're to my left and on the top. What suggestions do you have here for Lydia to spice up the retirement community with her husband?
Well, first of all, I am known as a top in both the gay and straight communities. So thank you. Good placement. I'll tell you something, Frank. I have right now I'm dating a much, much older gentleman and a much, much younger one for Feng Shui.
Right.
So with my older gentleman lover, I can tell you a number of ways to spice up a retirement community, because that's where I go bang him, obviously. Because it feels like college again. First of all, you could perhaps tell your significant other to send dick pics, but be careful. Be careful, because with the older gentlemen, they really hurt themselves on the rotary phones. Thank you.
Right. You're welcome.
I think that's a good idea for the, I always think that, when it comes to retirement homes, it's just that, people think that we have this bad cliche about the elders. And I got to tell you that my older gentleman lover is rock hard, just he looks like a buff Joe Biden. He is, it could be early rigor mortis, but jump all over that doll. You make that work for you.
You never know. It's hard to tell between the two. That's true. I think Joe Biden's pretty buff, isn't he? Joe's pretty buff, isn't he, for an older guy? He looks pretty.
I think he's a sexy man. I mean, again, you know what? He's kind of like if the guys that hung out with the really ugly guy in high school, though. He's coming off the back of Trump. And
yes.
If I could have one wish, if this really is final times, I just before he leaves office, just once, I want Melania to look right at him and say, "And now, Mr. Powers, prepare to die." Just once. But that's all I want for Christmas.
If they're still together a month after Trump leaves office, I will be shocked. But moving on, Bobby, what do you do at the retirement? You've done a lot of shows in Florida, Bobby. You know what I'm talking about. Yes, the villages. Yes. What do you do to spice up the the community?
Well, you're going to meet a lot of different people. Like if I was sitting next to, or I was friendly with Donald Trump, I would look at him and tap him and say, Donald, you're 74 years old. You got to stop with the spray tan, right? And as far as the hair, your hair's the color of Tang. I go, you look like an emoji. So, and stop telling people to drink bleach and put two LED lights up. And then there's Joe Biden. And Joe, 78 years old. Joe, I'm over here. Over here. Joe. You're going to meet a lot of different types of people.
Yes.
Is this our best choices? You're going to have choices to make. Go with the ones that align themselves to your personality.
So so let's put those two in the retirement community. What are you doing to spice up life in the retirement community? What is Lydia going to do? What is she going to do to spice it up? Bobby boy.
Lydia?
Yes. What is Lydia going to do?
She's going to go to all the different functions.
Okay.
From the singing class to the yoga class, right? Downward dog. She's going to do them all. And she's going to go to the different drinks. She's going to have drinks that night. And her husband's going to stay home and watch television. And he's going to sit in the chair. And she'll eventually get him out so he can meet that one friend that he feels very comfortable with.
Okay, I like this. So you're advocating for her to be a socialite on her own. Leave the man at home. Go have some fun. Go to all the functions. Maybe have a little drink. Enjoy your life. What do you say, John, about sprucing up the retirement community?
Well, you have to do something experiential.
Yeah.
That will introduce them to brand new things that they have never tried before. It's like when I was off to Papua New Guinea there with the little naked natives of Bantu Besh. And they are diminutive in their size, but not in the scope of their wisdom. For they were trying to teach me how to handle what is the most primitive and difficult of jungle weaponry, the blowgun. They tried to teach me how to negotiate a small poison dart through a long bamboo tube. Unfortunately, as I put the tube to my lips, I developed an instinctive impulse to inhale, and I ended up shish kebabbing my uvula. And as the poison released itself through my body, I dropped to the ground. I curled myself into a little fetal ball, screaming, "Oh, mommy, make it stop." Fortunately, the shaman of the tribe was wise enough to concoct an antitoxin tea made from the ganja watuki nut. So with 2 sips, I was back to myself inside of 20 minutes. But if you go along that line,
of course,
you create
I absolutely
experiential that encourage them to take part. You know, there's always a great game called Kick the Stick. You put a stick at the end of a rope and you just let it swing back and forth. And, you know, we tried it with the little naked natives of Bantu Besh there. They were diminutive, unfortunately, so most of them would, swing their legs and end up falling flat on their ass.
Ganja.
Lydia, if you haven't...
The ganja watuki.
That's it.
Which is also my safe word. Ganja watuki.
Yes. Well, I don't know, Lydia, if we haven't solved your problem after those three, that round, I don't know who could.
Frank, I've got a PS. This is because I am the one currently doing the older gentleman. You know, she doesn't have to do anything to spice up her love life, because in the retirement community, you have to understand that these elder gentlemen are a bit hard of hearing. So she's gonna, and I think the walls are pretty thin, so you're gonna hear like, yes, it feels great. No, daddy's dirty little whore. Why would I be your dirty little door? No. So I think you don't even need Hulu. You don't need Hulu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, wonderful first round, you three. Very funny. Lydia, I think we probably didn't solve your problems, but we appreciate you participating with us. Good first round. Let's see what else. Who else we can help here? What else we got? Oh, Raul from Hialeah, Florida. I just got catfished on a dating app. I was connecting with a hot girl on there. After flirting for a week, we exchanged numbers. When I called, it was a dude. Whoa, WTF. People like this should be thrown in jail for a minimum of a year. Am I right? catfishing on the date app and you find out it's a dude. Bobby, have you ever had this problem? Bobby, did you ever have a dating issue where you found out the crying game? Did you ever have any of that go on?
No, I didn't. But I got to tell you, when you're dead, you don't know you're dead. Other people feel the pain.
Right.
Same thing when you're stupid.
Right.
So you have to look into things rather than go through it. You know, and the LOL and the catfish and all that. I mean, we have our own. You know, I pee now. I pee now. I'm peeing now. IPN. I'm at the doctor's. You know, just look into whoever you're talking to.
What you're saying is do your research. Do your research.
Right.
Yes. Don't take everything for face value. Do your research. John. Oh, John. Have you ever pretended to be a woman, John?
I did once.
Yes.
No. I made a conscious effort one night. It was Halloween, and I want to say maybe it was probably I was better looking and less in my prime then.
Right.
But I dressed for Halloween as a woman, and it was a bitch to find heels in my size.
Of course.
So and then not only that, but trying to wear them. It's it's like remember the first time I put on spiked golf shoes, I had a difficult time. But when you only have one spike that you're wearing on each foot, it takes you to a different level. It's like playing hockey, frankly.
It is.
It's as difficult as ice skates and trying to move. But I mean, this is clearly a dilemma of dude look like a lady.
Right. Yes.
They've written. Excuse me, I don't think I pronounced that correctly. Dude looked like a lady.
Dude looks like a lady. That's correct.
Dude looks like a lady. And dude may very well be a lady. But regardless, I don't know. I always think that it's kind of fun to be the butt, and that's probably the wrong choice of words in this case. But the butt of a joke, I think it's kind of fun.
It is.
Yes. And you clearly were in that. And I think you have to have a sense of self-deprecation and say, you know what? That may not happen to me ever again.
Right. Well, Brian said up on the screen, he said, you got to assume they're all dudes. Sometimes you have to assume they're all dudes, I guess. I don't know. I haven't been on a dating app for quite a while. But I would agree with him. I would agree with him.
Yeah. Well, I'm married, so that's cut my dating down probably in half.
Yes, it's cut mine down as well. Agreed. Yeah, makes it more difficult to get away. Carla, what do you say? What do you say about this?
Oh, I'm pretending to be a woman right now.
Are you? You're doing a good job of it.
You've all been catfished. First of all, you have to have a big honking sense of humor. I'll say this. I was married for 10 years, not to the same guy who's got the time, but then I get back out in the wild.
Right.
I find that the dating apps are very specific, like farmerstanonly.com or whatever the hell's going on. And all the men, all the men lie. All the men lie, apparently, including this dude. This guy said he was in his 40s. I'm like, in the 1940s, maybe, because he rolled up in a car that I think only exists still in Cuba. I'll be honest. Like, they just don't make them anymore, right? Yeah. So, and, I'd also invite you to just try new things. Like, it's during this pandemic, I've become a cat person. I've become vegan. I got a tattoo. I am this close to, because I didn't do it in college. Right. John and Bobby, maybe becoming a member of Lilith Fair, and I think you all know what that means. Wow. I might learn to play the acoustic guitar. I might just do it. Yeah.
So are you saying then, Carla, that Raul should give it a try? I mean, maybe this dude is a nice guy and they could hit it off. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, maybe they can just be bras. I think that's what this pandemic is all about. Again, when it's end of time, Z, just go for it.
Right.
I think you try something new is where I'm going. Be tolerant, right? This is the kind of world we're living in. You give it a try. Maybe he's got delicate, beautiful hands.
Exactly.
Maybe Raul gives a hell of a massage.
Right.
Lola Lola.
That's right. That's right. So there you go, Raul. Give it. Why discriminate, Raul? Who says? I mean, who's gonna know? Who's gonna know?
Yeah, life's a buffet.
Right? There's a reason why there's so many songs written about it. We've quoted 3 of them in this segment. So yes, you never know.
And besides, why do you go on dating sites looking for catfish? I don't understand that.
It is weird, right? It is weird.
I didn't even know what it meant.
Yeah,
I didn't either.
That's okay.
Why are you fishing? Why are you fishing on a website? I don't understand.
Thank you.
John, hand to God, I thought Plenty of Fish was a dating site for lesbians, and that sounds really stupid. I found that out like 2 weeks ago. It's for everybody.
My bad for not knowing my panel of guests. I should have explained to you, younger gentlemen, what catfishing was. I apologize. I should have explained it. Next time, this will never happen again. I promise.
We used to go into bars and see a woman and sit down, buy her a drink, and then if you talked 5 minutes, you knew if she was a whack job, and you'd move. We didn't have Tinder or Hump Me, Dump Me. We didn't have any of that.
John Groves is saying, and this is true, Carla would make a nice elf on the shelf. I agree. Wow.
Elf on the shelf. I don't know. All right.
Do you know
I like to be more of a laugh with a draft, but okay.
Do you know that reference?
Right.
The elf on the shelf? Do you know the reference? You do.
Yeah. Oh,
okay,
yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure. I have to explain everything now. I don't want anybody to be lost.
I have a 14.
Thank you. I was once catfished by an elf who said he was tall.
What's that, John? Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. We have a 14-year-old son who is the audience for Elf on a Shelf. Every single day, we have to come up with something that is mildly PG every day.
Yes.
And the downward dog is one of them. That's an interesting position with a bunch of them.
Yes. I have a 12-year-old, John, and I will tell you this. I lost the patience with the Elf on the Shelf. This year, we finally told him it's not real. So now I had to burst his bubble because I couldn't take it anymore. I can't do this every day.
Well, it is, and it's an interesting age because between 12 and 14, they, as Mark Twain once said, they know a multitude of things that are mostly wrong.
Right.
But they still believe it.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. You're absolutely right.
Everything begins with the phrase, "Trust me on this, Daddy."
Catfishing is when you pretend to be a woman and you're actually a guy and you're trying to. Oh, here we go. I have a catfish that checks in at least once a month. I have to guess who he or she is every time. Thank you, Dwight.
That's a good way to spend the pandemic.
Yes, absolutely.
Catfish.
Good work, everybody. Good work. Very nice work. Let's see what else and who else we can help here. Tobias, wow, from Nashville, Tennessee. My daughter is getting married as soon as we can rent a hall. I look like a fool when I dance, but she insists we have the traditional father-daughter dance. What do I do? Oh, boy. We got a father-daughter dance coming up. Tobias is a little freaked out because he's not a dancer. John, I don't know if you've been there. John, have you ever been in a situation where you're being called upon to hit the dance floor? Maybe you don't.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, season 1 of Dancing with the Stars.
I was about to say.
I had to do it in front of 37 million people.
And how was that?
Well, I was able to get jiggy with it.
Okay, very nice.
I did. Well, I won the first year.
You did. Yes, you did.
But
I was just letting you explain. I know you did.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's exactly right. I am essentially a self-sucking lollipop. Trust me. If you don't push me, I will.
Well, suck away, John. Suck away.
No. Take some dance lessons for God's sakes. How old are you? And the fact that you don't know how to dance at this age, shame on you. And I said the same thing to myself. But the nice thing about Dancing with the Stars is that it gave me an opportunity to learn something I never had done before. Now, just a side note to that. I was the first one they asked, and they took me to lunch and presented the entire show to me. And I said, well, this is lovely. I'll be happy to host it. They said, no, we want you to do it. And I said, no, I'll host it. They said, no, you'll do it. And I said, fine. All right, I'll do it. Who else have you got? And they said, well, you're the first one. But now that we have you, we can get Evander Holyfield. And I said, what? And then it hit me. What ABC was trying to do was to give America what they had been asking for nearly 20 years.
Oh.
And that was the Evander Holyfield-John O'Hurley matchup, finally on a level playing field of ballroom dancing.
Right.
And for those of you who may not remember, I took him out in the third round with my foxtrot.
You were masterful. Masterful. Your technique was unbelievable. The training that must have gone into that.
Well, literally unbelievable.
Yes, unbelievable.
But some of my hair was real.
Yes, some of it. Yes. So Tobias, take a dance lesson. That's what John O'Hurley's telling you. Take a dance lesson. Carla, what do you say to Tobias? He can't dance. Father-daughter dance coming up. What do you say?
Tobias, I gotta shoot you straight. It just doesn't matter if you can or can't dance. Just the fact that you're showing up for your daughter is going to mean the world to her, and that you're trying. Take it from me, I've got more daddy issues than the cast of Succession and Luke Skywalker. So I would just, my father was a horrible gambler and womanizer. Back in the dating world, people show up. I'm like, put that AIDS test away. Show me your 23andMe, so we don't have a Game of Thrones type situation, bro. So it doesn't matter if you can or just show up for your daughter. Anybody who tries. I will dance with any guy who will ask me, because you just have to have the guts and the courage to dance. That's all.
There you go. Tobias, get some guts, get some courage. Bobby, what do you do in this situation if you're Tobias, Bobby?
I'm from New York. I'm still working on catfishing and chickie. Because I was a little chicky. I would tell Tobias to put your ego aside, put your insecurities aside. It's your daughter. Get your ass out there on the dance floor. And if you have to, take a lesson or watch The Temptations or go to a theater and learn how to move your body. It's
there
not.
You go.
Have fun.
And that comes from Bobby, who, by the way, can dance. You just saw up on the screen, he said that Bobby's dance moves belong on Dance Fever. So there it is. Bobby should be on Dance Fever with his moves, John says. I agree. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Bobby in the flesh perform, but let me tell you what. Wow, those hips.
I get chicky.
They can move. They can move.
Those are little country club hips.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Those hips have been at every country club.
Greenwich, Connecticut country club hips.
There they.
Very nice, guys. Very nice. All right, let's see what else we got. I hope that helped you, Tobias. Lewis or Lois? I think it's Lewis. Lewis from Fort Wayne, Indiana. My neighbor is obnoxious. Every holiday, he has to overdo it with the decorations. I literally can't take the Christmas lights. I can't sleep in my bedroom as it shines like the sun. My wife bought blackout curtains, but I told her I'm just going to curse him out and possibly break his jaw. Wow, Lewis. Fort Wayne. Remind me never to go to Fort Wayne, Indiana. Thoughts? Bobby, come on.
Lewis,
come on.
Kick his ass.
Wow.
No, Lewis, grow up. It's Christmas time, especially this one. God set press the reset button now on all of us. And if they can decorate and make you and other people feel better as a result of it, you can close your eyes or move to another room. Stop it. The cream rises to the top. The other stuff floats for a while, then it sinks. Be the cream.
Oh, very nice. I was wondering where you're going with that. Yeah, Lewis, be the cream, not the stuff that goes down, right? You know what we're talking about. Carla, what are we doing here? What's Lewis's issue here, Carla?
First of all, I'm going to obviously get "Be the Cream" embroidered on one of my pillows, because that's beautiful.
Actually, it may already be there. You don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't know.
I'm so
You
sorry.
don't know, John O'Hurley.
So sorry.
You don't know. You wish.
That's chicky.
My new comeback thing is you wish.
Somebody's already embroidered the pillow for you.
That's right. Tis the season. I got it right now. I'm just jealous of Lewis, because if Lewis's biggest problem is his neighbor's house being lit up like the Bellagio,
right,
during this 2020, where the only wine I assume is that can pair with it is absinthe, with a fistful of cat tranquilizers and a blowfish. Yeah, Bobby, take it easy, pussycat. Maybe go to an anger management class.
Right.
It's get some jolly in you. I don't know. Watch a sitcom. I don't think it's just get blackout curtains. I like that. My wife wants to do that, but no, I'd rather beat the crap out of them.
Break his jaw, he said. Break his jaw. I mean,
okay, well, wear a mask. You do you,
wow.
Louis. You do you.
Wow.
I just think that I think there's a deeper issues than, I mean, I want to know who hurt you, Louis. Who hurt you?
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Show me on the dolly who hurt you, Louis, because I don't think this has anything to do with Christmas lights, or at least I hope it doesn't.
Right? Yeah, he's got some other problems. So you heard Bobby and the elf on the shelf, Louis. You know, relax a little bit. Relax. John, what do you say? What do you say, John?
Well, I'm very compassionate about his concern. I understand this. And so what I would recommend you do is pick up your telephone, and I want you to dial whatever local utility you have there. And I would like you to wait for 12 to 14 hours for someone to actually pick up on the other end, so you can actually verbalize this complaint to them that they are using a great deal more of your precious fucking grid than you ever think that anybody in your community deserves. But I want you to think over that 12 to 14 hours about, is this really time well spent? Could I possibly be doing something better with my life?
Right. Yeah. No, that's a good point. Well, I'll tell you what else. If I had to take a bet at the beginning of this show, which one of the three of you was going to use the F-bomb first?
I know.
The last person I would have thought would have been John O'Hurley. I'm just saying it. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Bill Frederick says
that was the pile driver speaking.
No, it was necessary. Just randomly unscrew a bulb. If he doesn't know which one it is, he will spend hours searching, do a different bulb every day, says Bill Fredericks. Good point, Bill.
All right.
Yeah, that is one of the most annoying things. It actually just happened to me today. Our tree went out, and I had to go fishing for the bulb. True story. Great stuff, guys. Wow.
Catfishing for the bulb.
That's right. I was catfishing for the new bulb.
Oh, that's cheeky.
Oh, man.
Callbacks.
Listen, always great to have a good callback. All right, let's help somebody else. What else you got up there? Tom from Long Beach. There you go, guys. My faithful dog of 20 years recently passed away.
Oh.
Now my wife is talking about getting a cat. She says a cat will help me to get over my dog. I hate cats. She doesn't know that. Do I get a cat and be miserable the rest of my life, or convince her to buy some other type of pet? Well, since this is about dogs, I'm going to go to the resident expert here first. John, his dog passed away. I'm assuming you're a dog lover, John, in real life, or do you just play one on TV?
I've written 3 books on the subject of dogs. I'm a better person with a dog in my lap. I am not a better person with a cat in my lap. And frankly, it's a red states, blue states issue with me. If you are particular to one party that are dogs who don't, because you lost that dog, you don't necessarily move to the other party. This is not good advice. Stay with the dogs. Dogs make you their first priority. Cats couldn't give a rat's ass about who you are or why you're there. You are sharing space with them, and that's it. You're living in their world, and it has to be their idea. A dog basically will say to you, whatever you were thinking of doing is much more interesting than I had in mind. So let's go try that.
Right.
And dogs teach you things that are fundamental in your life, like how to live in the present moment. They have no sense of future, no sense of past. And if you don't believe me, try and reprimand a dog for something they left on the floor a few minutes ago, and I guarantee you they've already forgiven themselves for it.
They have. You're absolutely right. They couldn't remember a thing past 2 minutes.
Dogs live outside of time, and if there is one message that we take out of this pandemic, it is to strictly live in the joy of the present moment, because that's all.
Amen.
And dogs do that incessantly.
And cats,
absolutely.
Cats will not, cannot, and never will.
That is a definitive answer from the expert. Carla, you're hanging around horses right now. How do they compare to dogs? How do the horses compare?
I got to tell you, I'm a crazy dog lady. I've had up to 5 at a time. I like dogs better than people, because even though, sure, I have to clean up after them, but you know what? They'll never shit all over my dreams.
That's right.
I think horses are awesome. I'm just learning about them. They're also majestic, noble creatures. The reason I would, by the way, yay for a 20-year-old dog. That's pretty incredible. Like I literally have tattoos of the dogs I've lost. I love them a lot. The only reason I would say maybe don't get a cat is the reason I don't have a cat is because I get enough rejection in LA. I can't cope with an aloof animal like just like, hey, babe, did you gain some weight? Like, I don't want that attitude when I walk in. But having been here on the farm, we rescued some kittens. And I've really taken a liking to them, but I think I'm the R. Kelly of cat lovers. Like, I just like them when they're kittens. So my advice is, I don't care what you get, as long as you just being honest, John.
Well, we can agree. We can agree, Carla, that that a kitten is not a cat.
No,
kittens and cats are two different things. I'm with you there.
Two different species. Yeah, like
absolutely.
you know, like I just apparently I'm just like I like the Epstein Island of kittens, and then afterwards I don't have much time for them. But I'm an emotional support cougar, so I can make that judgment myself. I'm allowed on planes, but yeah, I would say I would just rescue whatever you're gonna do. Rescue an animal. Just don't shop and get some designer dog.
Right.
That's what I would encourage you to do, and you want it because grief is just love that has nowhere to go. You want to be able to pour your love into another creature. Get a dog.
Yep. Before I go to Bobby, I just saw something come up on the screen for you. It said, "Can you tell us how your cat RJ?" What does it say? We'll put that back up. Carla, tell us how your cat RJ got his name.
Really?
Is that an inside joke?
Well, no, it's we rescued these kittens, you know, and we still have 3 of them, and the names aren't creative, Frank. It's like Nibbler because he was biting, Oreo because he was black and white, and RJ is short for rim job because in order to survive, he was eating the Nibbler's ass, if you need to know. So it's like prison terms.
I didn't need to know, actually. That one.
What?
That went way past what I thought it was going to be.
I really tried to think of something else, but
no, please, you should always be honest and authentic on this show. Bobby, you ever had cats, Bobby? I've been
Sorry,
in your house.
Bobby.
Do you have a cat?
Only once.
Okay.
We've had dogs our whole lives here. Yep. My wife mentioned recently she'd like to get a cat. Cats are very smart, much smarter than dogs. Dogs are not that high up on Brain Mountain, but they, when you play with them, you kind of look at them and say, "Why don't you roll your head around so I can hear that marble going around and around?" But my wife yells at me because when I walk the dog here in Santa Monica, I don't pick up the shit. I'm from New York. Dogs don't pick up my shit. I've seen dogs step in shit. So I would say stick with the dog. They're loving. They're kind. Their heart reaches out to you, and they're there for you.
They are. And I will say this, and maybe John probably knows this as well as I do. I have a Rhodesian Ridgeback, and let me tell you something. Those dogs are extremely smart. They are very smart.
They are considered some of the smartest dogs, and actually bred in Africa to hunt lions.
Hunt lions,
that's exactly
absolutely.
Right. Although quite frankly, they only do it once or twice.
That's right. Yeah, this is my second Rhodesian. Both very smart. Both very smart.
Very smart.
I haven't tried to hunt lions yet, but that's coming up. Great job, guys. Very nice. Let's help somebody else. What else? I hope we did a good job on that last one. Summer from Fresno. That fits, doesn't it? Summer from Fresno. I'm now at the age where the gray is really coming through, and it's becoming harder to stay in shape. Join the club there, Summer. How did you all cope with this? Why would you assume we don't? We have to cope with it. How did you all cope with this horrible, life-changing transition? Summer's getting gray, and it's becoming harder to stay in shape, Bobby. That's what Summer's going through, not Bobby. Bobby's been in great shape.
Hey, Summer, I'm peeing as I'm talking to you. We all go through it. It's called aging. We're all going to go through that. Just take life the way it comes. Enjoy it. Eat better. Walk a little more. Do a little run. Exercise. But more importantly, keep your eye on the donut, not the hole. And the donut is to live, to laugh, and enjoy, and make friends.
man, I'll tell you what. There's some philosophy coming out of this show tonight. I mean, these are quotables, aren't they? These are better than memes. This is great. I never took you for a philosopher, Bobby, but you're really showing me something tonight. You really are. Carla, what do you say? What do you say to this?
Really, I got to follow Voltaire over there?
You do? I know. Who knew Dostoevsky was showing up tonight? I didn't know.
I know. It's like philosophers.
Well, if we got married, you'd be Mrs. Collins.
That is my dream. Some Collins on Collins action. I have to say, so first of all, Summer, you got a great stripper's name. Right. So I'd really lean into that. It's a very sexy name. I mean, my stripper name is either Ginny Tonic or Amber Alert, but everybody gets so upset about that. Why do you think I'm wearing a hat? It's tough to get your roots done. It's tough to get root canal during this time. But I say, first of all, here's a sexy thing. My older gentleman lover was doing my roots for me. Very cool. Wow. You can try that at home. And I'm a workout queen. I am not really for vanity, just to stay out of prison and to keep my sanity. So just like Bobby said, really find something you love to do. And that could be anything. Like we're all working out at home. So if it's an elliptical or going for a walk, or my thing's dancing, or what's great if you're saying you're getting older, let me give you one recommendation. This isn't super funny, but just do weights. Find yourself. All the best instructors right now are online, because what else are we going to do? So there's a million free classes to choose from. And I would, because weights, you do a body pump class, you're burning calories for 24 hours after the class. And I mean, I'm working out like a spike. My thighs could crush your dreams. And I think that I think you should you just get the, it's like laughing, get the endorphins going. You just want to keep moving during this. That's all. Just enjoy life. Don't take it so seriously. And by the way, women are hella sexy with the gray hair. That's the whole new look this year. Gray and silver hair.
It is.
Be a fox. Be a fox doll.
Yeah.
Also, the other key is, guys, confidence. Men love confidence. It doesn't matter if you do anything else. We all know guys who are 4 foot, maybe. And look at jockeys. They got the confidence of a matador. They're like NBA stars left in the dryer for too long, but they're out there like banging models. So just be confident. And guys don't know the difference. They're a bit like the dog with the marble in their head. Be confident. They're like, oh, you must be a supermodel. Cool.
Yeah. Confidence is everything. Absolutely.
It is. It is.
I agree. And it's a sexy thing. Now, speaking to somebody who's embraced the gray hair for a long time, John, and obviously done really well with it. John, what do you say to Summer? She's having issues with the gray.
Summer, you're not dealing with the color of your hair. You're dealing with your mortality. So I would like to share with you the greatest piece of advice that I have ever been given. And it was at a time when I needed it the most. I was on the back end of a 13-day Chianti binge. I had demons floating around in my head that weren't even mine. Right. And my neck felt like one gargantuan monkey fist. My entire spiritual side needed renewal, but when, where, how? So I decided to travel off to the high country of Kathmandu, with a team of Sherpas that had hygiene problems I don't even want to go into. But no matter, because I was in search of a man known only as hisness. So spiritual it was. And because I looked for him, that's who I found, seated in the corner of a small chapel, his legs curled conveniently into a Windsor knot. And so I sat down next to him for what seemed like hours, and I stared into his ice blue eyes until I finally broke the silence and said, please give me that which I have come for. And he reached over and, honest to God, slapped me as hard as he could across the face and said, go fish. And I couldn't believe what I had just heard. Was this what my soul had been longing to hear, the name of a children's card game? Or was I on the receiving end of the old Tibetan shim-sham? Well, I could not be certain. So on my way out, I toilet papered his pagoda. But his words have echoed thus in my mind ever since. And now, whenever my soul is tied in knots, I simply stop what I'm doing. I put down my belongings, I smile gently to myself, and I go fish. Because what he was trying to tell me and trying to tell you is to stop worrying about the future.
Thanks.
Stop living in the past. The future will take care of itself. The past is a faded memory and of no use anymore. But once again, learn to find 1,000 joys in the present moment. And why? Because that's where the fish are.
Man, oh man.
Shit.
John O'Hurley proving once again that he could read the phone book and we would all be engaged. Wow. What a beautiful story about just the amount of places.
Depravity.
Yes, the amount of places that you have been. It's just it's incredible. It really makes me feel like I'm not doing enough with my life. Apparently.
Frank, you know what John just gave? You know what John just gave Summer?
What's that?
Botox. He gave her Botox for her third eye.
Yes, absolutely. He cleaned out her chakras, didn't he?
He oiled and lubed them. And
yes,
rotated.
he did. Yes, he did. John, I'll tell you what. I think you're going places, man. I really, don't let anybody hold you back, because I feel like there's something out there for you. I really do. I feel like one of these days we're gonna see your name.
I'm still sucking the hind tit in the barnyard. Don't worry about it.
Oh man, this is fantastic. I'm so excited that we have time for more. This is amazing. Let's do one more. Let's do this. What do you got up there for me, guys? Oh man, a long one. Oscar in Las Vegas, Nevada. Ever since I quit smoking cigarettes 2 months ago, I've noticed I've been acting extremely out of character. For instance, I'm addicted to vegetables instead of pizza, documentaries instead of sports, and talking with my wife as opposed to doing the nasty. I need to regain my manhood. Who wants to go hunt bears and join a fight club with me? Oscar in Las Vegas quit smoking and thinks he lost his manhood. Bob, you ever smoke?
Years ago, when I was a young boy, I smoked Lark. Remember, show us your Lark patch?
Sure, yeah.
And I went to the hospital to get a hernia operation when I was young, and they were supposed to let me out the next day. And he said to me, the doctor, they said, "We don't understand this. Do you smoke?" I went, "Yeah." He goes, "Have you been smoking while you're in here?" I go, "Yeah, I've been going by the window and blowing it out in the hospital." He goes, "Sir, you shouldn't smoke. It's very," and that day I stopped smoking.
That was it. Backtrack for me. How do you get a hernia at a young age? What did you get a hernia with? What were you doing? Were you working at the docks? Were you a longshoreman? What were you doing?
I was working where John took it. He took me there.
Oh, is that right? Oh,
I was playing basketball and this and that.
Oh, okay. So sports related. Very manly. So you've always been a man, yeah. And you still playing, right? You still playing, Bobby? You still playing the ball?
Playing.
Love it. Carla, do you think it's possible to lose your manhood when you quit smoking?
Not really. I don't exactly know where he's going. I mean, it's a great prop. I mean, unless you're Oscar Wilde,
right?
I don't really understand the connection, but I have a really short and simple answer. I just think slap a nicotine patch on your dick. That's all I've got.
I wonder if that would work. That's interesting. A little patch on the old penile.
I can only assume that's what he looks like.
Well, that's all any of us could do, Carla. We can only assume that might work, because I'm sure it's never been done.
I'd like him to get a hold of me and let me know if that works.
Yes,
I don't want him to wrestle a bear, because I'm an animal lover. So I'm going for an extreme measure, guys.
Okay.
So get a nicotine patch right on your junk. Merry Christmas.
Put the patch on the Johnson. Regain your manhood.
Exactly.
John, please tell me an exotic story. Could you do that for me?
Well,
about manhood. Here we go. He took off the glasses. Wait, this is going to get really good.
I remember a time when I was traveling through that colorful country of India. And one afternoon, I remember falling head over heels into a large puddle of mud, ruining a perfectly good pair of white linen pants, the very pants I had planned to wear that night at the Mumbai fashion mart. Well, you may know it as Mumbai, but it will always be Bombay to me. And so there I was, standing knee-deep in the amber waters of the river Ganges, elbow to elbow with the fishwives of New Delhi, without regard for social distancing or personal hygiene, for that matter, because I was there to practice the gentle art of river laundering.
Oh,
With a
yes.
spoon and a few smooth stones, I was beating the living daylights out of those linen pants and putting the last-minute spit shine on that pair of baby blue boxer shorts.
Oh,
But I remember watching as that slow parade of diapers floated by me on that never-ending river at sunset. And I thought to myself how grateful I was to set foot in that port of call for as long as I did. But for me, and
yes.
I hope for you, as you have written this, that the horizon will always be just out of reach, which is why you and I must continue to sail. We must always, always be explorers.
In other words, stop smoking and grow up.
Grow a pair and slap a patch on it.
Right. That's the short answer. What's that? What did that person say? They wanted to inject J. Peterman right into their veins. That's what somebody just said up on the old screen there. They would like to have J. Peterman, just inject that J. Peterman into my veins. Obviously, for those of you watching, recalling the character that Mr. John O'Hurley played. Very nice. Wow, the storytelling in this episode is fantastic. We will archive this for all of you who would like a replay of some of these little stories that you can tell your kids. You can read these.
And my F-bomb.
Yes. Oh man, God, this is fun. You guys are just doing great. We do have time for one more. Let's do one more. Why not?
That's a shame.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I know. I think you thought it was over, but it's not. Aurora from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Wow. I love shopping at thrift stores. You find deals on clothes that are out of date, which for me is pretty awesome and helpful in maintaining my sense of style. My best friend is always giving me crap about buying used clothes, but she isn't the one wearing them. I am. So I'm just here to say, mind your own business, Sheila. I'm not sure what the problem is here other than Aurora loves shopping at the old thrift stores. Carla, do you I go to you first since you obviously went and bought the elf outfit before you got here today. Do you like to shop at the thrift stores, Carla?
Here's the sad thing. I already had this outfit, so that's
okay.
I wish I just bought it for this show. First of all, Aurora, Sheila is the new Karen, obviously. So screw that bitch. You're from Salem, so why don't you just say mote it be? I'm just assuming you're a born-again Wiccan, and you can summon or something, some type of spell on this bitch. Yep. I'm a big fan of thrift shop because I mean I think that I look like a live action version of Barbie, from a distance if you're really drunk. Okay, a Barbie you might find at Ross or the dollar store. But yeah, women, I'm surprised that Sheila's giving you shade because women love garage sale purchases. They're very proud of them. And absolutely. I think right now, considering everything you're going through, you go dust off that Sergeant Pepper's jacket, or I don't know what she's finding there. I just assumed something with epaulettes and, something that maybe Prince or a Matador would have worn, and I applaud you for that. So, absolutely. Yeah, Aurora, just have nothing else. Yeah, forget that Sheila bitch. You're better off. You thrifted up, baby. You thrifted up. I think whenever you can get an outfit that you spend $5 on. Win-win.
You're winning, yeah. Get a new friend, absolutely. Bobby, you ever go to the thrift stores, Bobby? You like the thrift stores?
No. Matter of fact, when I was young in New York, I went to see a seer. Somebody took me to see a seer, and I said to him, "Oh, that's going to give me that juju crap and all that." And the first thing he did when he rolled his stones, he looked at me and he said, "You're going to be married." I was like 18. He said, "You're going to be married twice. And you're going to have 2 children, and the first one's going to give you a lot of problems." I said, "I'm not married." He says, "You will be." Wow. I've married. I have 2 children. The first one has given us a lot of problems. But he also said to me that day, because we grew up very poor, he said, whatever you do, don't wear someone else's clothing. And I said, that's all I do. I get hand-me-downs. I get people give us stuff. He goes like this, don't wear other people's clothing. You'd rather wear something old and beat up than someone else's. And I always took his advice.
Wow, I wonder what that's about. First of all, what do you mean Rolling Stones? What is that a thing?
Oh, it was there was people. Matter of fact, Mayor Koch was there to see him too. He used to hold these stones and then he'd throw them.
Gotcha. Okay, see, I was thinking when you said, I thought you were doing the card reader, but you went to It's interesting. I wonder if that's all about. Yeah, I wonder if that's all about bad energy. I guess that's what that's about, right? Don't wear other people's clothing.
Don't wear others, especially now, covert.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I hesitate to ask John if there's a story in here about the thrift shop, but please, John, what do you do there? What do you do about a friend that doesn't like you? Yeah.
I am a walking irony.
Oh.
I remember one day going to the local thrift shop,
Yes.
which is a gift shop of sorts. But
Sure.
I remember going there to deposit a good portion of the entire wardrobe that I had from when I was hosting To Tell the Truth.
Yes.
Because everything was out of style and didn't fit. And I said, it's easier to give it to somebody who will enjoy it and maybe, look great at a job interview and what have you like that. So I brought in maybe $20,000 worth of wardrobe to the thrift shop.
Yeah.
And so what do? After I give them that and they give me my blank receipt, which is a ticket to cheat like you wouldn't believe.
Right off.
I walk around to the front of the store and I start shopping. I have just given them $20,000 and I go in and what do? For $60, I buy a jacket that to this day I still wear with jeans because it was just the most comfortable jean style sport coat that you could ever wear. It just hangs perfectly. And it was like waiting for me to come claim it. And I always feel it's a little bit like going into an animal rescue. There is a little jacket there. It is a natty Irish type of linen or wool jacket that was just waiting for you to come discover it. And that's exactly what I did. So to say that I gave away 20 and spent 65, it was the best purchase I think I've ever made. I've had that jacket forever. And it just reminds me that, we're all just bozos on the bus. That's all we are. And
that's true.
That little $65 jacket to me is as warm and as comfortable as anything I've ever worn. And it just makes me feel kind of pedestrian.
And I'll tell you, and as every man knows, it's very difficult to find a really good fitting sport jacket you can wear with jeans and feel cozy in. So I'm with you there, because there's only a few I've ever had in my life that I go, that's the jacket. And kudos to you for finding it and keeping it. Well, guys, what can I say about this particular episode? So much fun. We've got a minute left. Really quickly, Carla, what's happening in your immediate future? Where can we get a hold of you? Go.
Okay, first of all, you can find my first husband at a thrift shop. I think he's very comfortable. Pretty sure he'll fit you. CarlaCollins.com, comedicmeditation.com. You can find me on Instagram at Carla Collins Comedian. I'm doing, I launched my own new podcast and web series this month called Carla Collins Rocks the Elmo Como being a very famous, iconic music place here in Toronto. And I've got a lot going on. Skywriting. There's just too much pressure right now.
You did good. You did good.
Yeah. And thank you. My whole life was just made because Mr. Peterman dropped the F-bomb. So I really don't have anywhere to go.
We're never going to forget it. Fantastic.
Thank you so much, Frank. Great to see a fellow Guelph.
Absolutely. Hang there, Bobby. What do you got? Tell us where we can find you, Bobby.
New book coming out, this, that, and everything in between. Dates showing up starting in May. Otherwise, my wife yells at me quite a lot. Why do you use so much toilet paper? Do you wrap your whole hand in paper? I go, honey, I just want to be safe. I want to be sure. Life goes on.
And I'll give you your website, bobbycollins.com. They threw it up there. John, are you going to host this show or what? Are you going to get this show? Because we want you to get this show. Who can we talk to?
What show are you talking? What are you talking
about?
Well,
you know exactly what we're talking about. We want you to host Jeopardy. So who do I call? What do I need to do here?
It's still, as I say, I'm on the short list. We'll see where that goes. But life continues to be entertaining. I have a brand new movie out called Charlie's Christmas Wish, which I actually play the voice of God.
Of course you do.
And
Perfect.
But oddly enough, God auditioned and didn't get it. I think that.
Too on point.
I mean,
they're always looking for a fresh face, John. It's all
exactly right. I have my one-man show called A Man with Standards, which is still out and running. The bookings at least are starting up again as of the fall, which is great. A lot of fun. It's a one-man musical that I do. And then I'm having more fun doing the cameos, cameo.com. As what I do are those Peterman monologues, many of which you hear me. I write in that style.
Right.
And I have a lot of fun. I'm speaking motivationally and to a lot of groups, and I enjoy writing in the Peterman style. People seem to enjoy it, so it's. I like to think that I'm a storyteller, but eventually, again, I'm just a bozo on the bus.
Well, we're all bozos, but some of us do it better than others. Nice work, guys. It's such a great pleasure to have all three of you on. Everybody, thank you for watching another Comedy Doctors. Join me again next Monday night at 9 p.m. We'll see you all later. Goodbye, everybody.
Take care.
Hang tight there, guys. Oh, guys, that was so much